let me just say.
Let's hear it.
Let me speak my piece.
Okay, please.
Because I have ideas.
Oh,
The draft is boring.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Sports Are Fun. I'm your host, Kelley O'Hara.
I'm the personality hire, BJ Beckwith.
And I'm Greydy Diaz, aka Mid-Range Mommy.
We are back in studio today after a long 2 weeks off.
It was like a week and a half.
Well, we didn't see each other for a week and a half, but
Okay.
we were in studio for 2 weeks.
Kelley just said
True.
she missed us.
I did. I miss these cozy little seeds.
And our live show was so much fun.
It was so fun.
Thank you to everyone who pulled up on us.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone who's in Tampa. Great energy, great guests. Thank you to everybody who is tuning in today, watching on YouTube, listening, wherever you get your podcast. We haven't been in studio in 2 weeks, but a lot has happened, obviously. We were live in Tampa, went over Final Four. Mary and I hopped on, did a quick little episode after Final Four in the championship and the first U.S. Women's National Team game to recap that. But since then, we've had the draft. NWSL is back. U.S. Women's National Team played Brazil again. So we're going to get into all of that today. But first things first, our biggest piece of news, obviously the draft, which was huge. And Greydy, you were there last night.
I was
so
there.
Give us all the tea.
Oh my goodness, where do I start? It was just an incredible moment. I've gone many years.
Have you?
But every year it feels different. It feels special. It feels, incredible to be there to watch all of these players' dreams come true.
Right. It's like a dream realized.
And just to see all the outfits. Everybody
Yeah.
was dressed. Oh my
Dude,
God.
we're going to get into that later. But honestly,
Yeah.
I think the outfits are my favorite part of
Oh, yeah.
Red
Draft
carpet
day.
was favorite part.
1,000%.
Yeah. I didn't know a lot about Georgia before last night, and just getting to watch her and Russell, which was really fun, him fitting her for the draft. And just, I don't know, she's just a great personality, obviously an incredible talent. And I'm excited to see what she can do for the Mystics, which will be like really, really fun. I mean, they had 3 first-round draft picks,
Yes.
which was huge for them.
Yeah,
and I
because
think
they're rebuilding.
yeah. So, okay, let's go through. We have so much to talk about. But first of all, the most important, or obviously like the biggest headline of last night, Paige going number 1. Everybody knew that.
Of course.
She's going to Dallas. Cameron, my sweetie pie, is from Dallas. And so I'm like, you should get a Beckers jersey. Like,
Why
you
not?
might be
Yes,
a Dallas
you
Wings
should.
fan now. Even though I think that we're both Liberty fans, like diehards. But any thoughts on like Paige going number 1, what she does for Dallas? Do you think that Dallas now has the same expectations that Indiana kind of had getting Caitlin last year? Because in my opinion, I was like, Caitlin's going to the worst team in the league. You know, Paige is now going to technically the second worst team from last year. Caitlin was able to take Indiana to the playoffs, which was a big deal in my opinion. Do we think Paige can do that as well?
I think it's possible. They have an incredible group, especially of scorers. Of people.
I know.
But my thing is, can they share the basketball?
Okay.
You have Dejanay, who is a bucket. You
Right.
have Arike,
Yeah.
who is, you already know,
I'm
she
like-
loves to shoot. She loves to take it to the rack.
Right.
All that. And then you have Paige, who's a scorer also. So you're going to have these many scorers. So I think it's going to come down to how do they work together?
Right. Yeah. No, that's a good point. I mean, I look at this roster and I'm like, why weren't they good before?
Right.
I just am
Absolutely.
surprised.
This is Dejanay's first season with them, correct?
Correct.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like having her come as well is also like getting a new draft pick, because she's also going to be brought to the table. And I feel like last season, Arike was kind of alone
True.
as
Yeah.
like the sole star. But
I think
now
I
she has
just,
2.
I think of Arike and I'm just like, she's good enough to be 5 players at once. Like that's how I look at her as a player. But again, like you said, getting Dejanay, now adding in Paige, it's like, I think they're a team definitely to watch. And everyone will be watching to see what they can do.
For sure.
Because
I agree.
when you get the number 1 draft pick, like everybody's got your eyes on them.
Expectations are really high.
Yeah, for sure. All right, another fun link up is Haley Van Lith and Angel Reese in Chicago together.
I love this.
I know. Does this just like warm our hearts or what?
Yes.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Chicago fan.
Are
That's
you?
that's my team this
Oh,
year.
wow.
It was my
This
team last
year?
year. No, it was my team last year too.
Okay.
But I only follow Angel and Camilla.
Okay.
That's why.
Great players.
So now
Wow.
Haley just added to the fire.
Okay, so are we going, should we go to a Chicago
Absolutely.
Liberty
I'm going to
game?
the Chicago Liberty game.
When is it?
Well,
Need to put it on my calendar.
don't know
We're
what's
in
happening,
there,
but I
baby.
have a ticket.
We're in there. But what I really loved was what Hailey Van Lith had to say about joining Angel, which was,
Let's hear it.
she's a dog. She turns up the intensity of everybody around her. She can pull more out of me than I think I have. And I think that shows they already have a special relationship, and it's only going to continue growing as they're going to be teammates again. And just to see them back together. I mean, Angel has already talked about before, how much she loves Hailey Van Lith. And, it's just going to be a great pairing.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean,
And even Angel tweeted, she said something about the lines of like, we didn't do it right the first time, let's run it back, which I thought that was sweet.
I love that.
wow. All right. BJ's not new team. You've
I've been there.
You've
I've
been
been
there.
there.
You've been about it.
I've been about it. Playoff run.
All right, fair enough. Okay, the other team, in my opinion, that is going to be a team to watch. Mystics, 3 first-round picks. They got Sonia Citron, Kiki Irafin, Georgia Amore. Big time getting 3 players in the first round, in my opinion, is exciting, but also risky. They're banking on young talent because they have to.
Well, they're rebuilding.
Right.
So it makes sense. I don't think the expectations are championship
No, for
now
sure.
or next year or maybe even the next year, but I think that they need to build out that core. And I think that these 3 players could be a start of that new core, potentially, at least the youngest core. But yeah, the Mystics are rebuilding right now. So whatever they can get, and they got some really good players. So I think that they're going to, do well together.
And you don't think this is going to be a year for them? Like, you think it's just going to be kind of like a rebuild year?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wait, why
Absolutely. I don't think I
think it's hard.
How are they going to match up against the New York Liberty?
Right.
How are they going to match up?
I think people don't realize what a big jump college to professional is in any sport, right? Like, you watch college football, you watch college basketball, obviously fun to watch, exciting, but the jump is just so much bigger than anything that any player's done before, right? High school to college, college to pro. College to pro is it's just harder. It's just bigger. And because you're playing not only people, for instance, you go from high school to college, you're only playing those people who have been in that, they could only be there for 4 years, right? College to pro, you're playing, like, Caitlin was playing DT last year.
Right.
DT had been around for 20 years, so
For
it's
sure.
just like, there's just such a level that has to be achieved to be able to even just feel comfortable and hold your own at the professional level, and to expect that 3 college players are going to come in and be able to play to that level, I think is asking a lot.
It
They're
doesn't
expecting
always
a lot.
happen. As you said, they're playing vets.
Right.
But they're also playing moms who have that extra mom strength. You know what I mean? Who have come back from these, pregnancies
100%.
even better, many of them. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like, they're going to have an adjustment, and that's okay, but they're not expected to be, they might not be expected to be in the playoffs.
No, for sure. I will say, though, I liked seeing Elena Deladon in the war room with Mystics. That made me happy.
Man, I love Elena Deladon. I'm so sad
You're
she's
sad?
retiring, but I'm happy for her.
Yeah.
She's had, that back injury that has, sidelined her for a long time. And I feel like we didn't really get to talk about this much.
Yeah, no,
but
her
she is
retirement
one of the
announcement.
greatest players to play this game. And I had the chance to cover her in DC, and to watch her game, it was just so pretty. I can't even explain it, but there aren't many players that I'm just like, every time she had the ball, I was just like, wow.
Yeah, like, what's she going to do with it?
But so she's going to be so missed.
Yeah. I wonder what her role is with Mystics.
That's a good question.
No, nobody knows.
We'll have to find out.
I know. I was like, oh, it's good to see her in the room, because you want to see players stick around, give their experience and their expertise, and lend that to the front office. I think it's helpful, especially in a rebuilding situation like Mystics are in.
I agree.
So we'll see there. Any other shouts?
There was 2 that I really was happy about.
Okay, let's hear it.
Bree Hall to Indiana Fever.
Okay.
And then Caitlin Chen to the Valkyries.
Oh my God.
That was such a
So
moment.
cute.
Yes.
But her and Caitlin and Aubrey, I don't think they expected
No,
to get
no.
drafted.
Yeah.
And then
it was
boom,
definitely, it was a
they get
Kate Martin
drafted.
moment.
But with Caitlin, I thought it was an incredible moment because of the market she's going to.
Right.
Yeah, like, she's going to be used. They
She's going to be
got
used.
her for a reason.
Absolutely. I'm just so happy for them. Oh my gosh, what a last 2 weeks for anybody who went to UConn.
Seriously.
And I
Yeah.
think both teams that made the finals for March Madness, like South Carolina and UConn, did really well draft-wise, like, with
Amazing.
their players.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool.
No, I feel like Paige said something in her speech. She was like, my teammates are here supporting me. If I was any of these teams, I would go pick up X, Y, certain players that are here that aren't like, aren't a draft invitee, but are here supporting me. And then they get picked up, which is awesome.
And they're all definitely real friends. Just the way that they all moved around together at the draft. I went to Paige's after party last night.
Amazing.
Everyone was together. Everyone was together the whole time. I was like, oh, they're really friends. And I love that because that doesn't always happen with teams. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
So they have an incredible bond. Obviously, that championship makes that bond even sweeter. But to see that genuine friendship on display was just such a beautiful thing, and I want to see more of that. I love that so much.
I mean, Paige said those are like her sisters for life, which is really special. So tell us about the after party.
Oh, I went to 2 after parties. I went to the fam.
2 after parties.
I went to the fam agency party, which Sellers, who was supposed to be here, couldn't be here. That's her agent.
Yeah.
Her agent's party.
Okay.
And Isaiah. It was Sellers and Isaiah. They had a joint party.
Okay.
And then Paige had a.
Where was it? Tell us everything.
It was in Brooklyn.
Oh,
and it
wow.
Was,
Went
they
from
shut
Hudson
down a
Yards
spot
to Brooklyn.
Yeah. So
Dang,
I went.
You were all over the place.
To Manhattan to Brooklyn. Then I went back to Manhattan.
Our girl was moving last night.
Paige's after party. It was with Nike, and it was dope. Like everyone was there. You know what I mean? It was just good vibes. It was just good vibes. All love everywhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like the draft happening is like anticipation for the seasons to start.
Oh my gosh,
I'm just chomping at the bit for like first game to tip off, which is what, like middle of May?
16th, I think.
Yeah. No,
And there were so many current WNBA players that pulled up to the draft, which is
awesome.
really cool to see their support. And it's a sisterhood, you know, and I just love that they were all present. There were so many present.
Amazing.
And
Well,
let me just say,
let's hear it.
let me speak my piece.
Okay, please.
Because I have ideas.
Oh,
Draft is boring.
Okay.
Draft is boring.
You mean, so you're saying
The draft itself.
viewing it on television?
Viewing it as a viewer. I watched last night. I was with like some friends. We were watching. Red carpet, fun, great, standard.
Orange carpet.
We love that. Orange carpet, excuse me. Love that. And
Okay.
then you go in
Obviously,
and
you
it's just the
love it.
commissioner. With the first round pick, we have Dallas Wings. Paige
You
Pitt.
think they need like
come
an
on.
MC or
I think
something?
you
A
need to
DJ?
bring in,
Like,
I
a
think there
current
is a
player.
DJ.
Bring in a current player from that team. Have the commissioner do an opening speech. Someone from the Wings come in, do a Wings pick. Someone from Chicago, do a Chicago pick, and then get everyone involved.
I like it.
I don't
love
mind
that.
that idea, BJ.
Trademark it, right.
Put a little comment card in
and
the
get a performer. Get
okay.
someone.
You
Like-
want somebody performing in between picks.
Yes, between each round, like let's get some entertainment. Let's
Okay.
make it like an all-star weekend.
Okay,
moment.
I went to the draft last year, and
Were you bored? Okay, yes.
No, so being there, I can't remember. This is why I need to ask Grady. When you were in the room, could you hear what ESPN commentators were saying over the loudspeaker?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so that was being broadcast into the room.
Yes.
In between the picks. So you heard them talking about potentially what was going to happen next.
Yes.
It's like stressful.
Interesting. Okay, I can't remember. I don't know why I'm blacking out, and I can't
Because
remember.
you were bored.
No, no, actually. So I agree. I loved the pre-show because I love that lineup of broadcasters with Andrea, Chanae, and then Elle Duncan. Like, love those three together. They make everything fun. So I loved that. I like the orange carpet. I wasn't bored, but I was also
It could just be more fun, in my opinion.
right. But I think that it's like, how do you balance giving the information
Yeah.
versus making it an event for the people there?
Yeah. I feel like it's just like you need to toe the line between making it like the BET Awards.
Oh my gosh.
And like
Okay, so BJ wants the BET Awards.
I just want some musical performances. I want like some speeches. I want something.
But then do
That
you
might
think
take
that
away
it's
from the
taking away
draftees.
from the people and the moment that the draft is for?
think about it like this. You still know who won the Grammys at the Grammys.
I don't remember who won the Grammys.
You're making me sick.
Anyway, you're gonna so you
Yeah, someone can call me.
Events are your thing.
They are my
so
thing.
you have an expertise in this department.
Yeah, so they can call me.
WNBA,
And then we'll run it
bring
back.
him in for a little brainstorm session.
So sorry to the commissioner. Don't hold that against me.
The commissioner doesn't have to be in the meeting.
right.
But I do like the idea of the player, like a player.
Right.
I
really,
love
that really piqued
Yeah,
your ear, huh?
either former or current,
Yeah, like DT could have done one.
for sure.
Or like, I'm trying to think, like Sue Bird could come in.
Yeah, no,
These
that's
people like
fun.
love to be around. And
For sure.
I think
in
you
the
bring
league.
all the legends back.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
not?
That's cool. And then it gets the crowd hype.
Yeah.
It's a cool moment between like a passing of the guard, of the torch, that sort of thing. I like that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great
Thank
idea.
you so
Cool.
much. Y'all were like, where's he going with this? To the stars.
We approve. Maybe not performers, but
How win you over?
diving right into the headlines for the week. The U.S. Women's National Team is back in action. They obviously played Saturday. So 2 Saturdays ago, they won 2-0 against Brazil. Merritt and I talked about that game in our little recap of last weekend. But then they played again on Tuesday and they lost 2-1. The starting lineups were filled with a lot of young players, which I think is a great thing. You know, you had Avery Patterson, Claire Hutton, Thompson sisters. So again, I think that Emma is really, doubling down on the research and development, which I feel like that was my theme, but it's obviously what she's doing. But BJ, I know that you are,
I'm a soccer fan.
you are the resident soccer fan other than myself. And I'm curious your thoughts on.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about
speak like overall.
We haven't talked about both. Me and you have not talked about both performances. So I'd be curious to hear.
Yeah.
General vibes leaving camp.
First game was like her out of that group. And I think you said this in your recap with me. It was like the starting lineup out of that group.
For sure.
And then the second game was more experiential.
Right.
I will say before we get into it, I thought Brazil game 1 was going to be more of a challenge. And I was a little, not disappointed because I was happy that they won, but I thought it was going to be more difficult.
Okay.
But then game 2, I thought with their more experiential lineup, they were more of a threat anyway.
Okay, let me get this right. You felt like Brazil was also experiential in their second lineup and they were more of a threat because of that.
Yeah, so in their experiential lineup, in both of them, you saw the US's be like, ooh, yeah, back to the drawing board. But Brazil was like, maybe this should have been who played Saturday.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like Caroline on the ball, love.
Well, yeah, but is she experiential?
Well, she didn't play on Saturday until the end.
Is she coming back from injury?
Kind of. She had that first year. She's like a year and a half removed.
Okay. So not fully back.
Not fully back. But
yeah. I mean, scored a banger.
Banger. And gave them so much trouble.
Right. Yeah.
Like all of them.
My thoughts, this is like my overall takeaway, is that I feel like the fans are giving Emma a lot of grace.
Yeah. I was going to say that too.
Because the reality is she has lost. They've played 5 games in 2025. U.S. Women's National Team 2025 played 5 games, lost 2. I think that the fans are giving her a lot of leeway.
Which I don't think is a bad thing considering the next time until a...
I don't either.
Yeah.
And I think that the reason she's getting this is because they won the Olympics. If she hadn't won the Olympics, if that team hadn't won the Olympics, I think people would be
panicked.
Yes, up in arms, if you will.
But these are also friendlies. Like,
they don't
even count.
They are, but the reality with the national team is like you lose. I would be interested to see when's the last time we lost more than 2 games in a year.
Well, the Vlaco era.
Well, yeah, but I don't know how many losses, not counting like a major tournament. I don't know if that's fair to do. But anyway, that's just my takeaway. And I think she knows that. And I think, again, like you said, I think it's fair. I think the fans and just in general, what she's doing is good. She is exploring her players, right? And figuring out who can cut it and who can't. And she even said that after the second game. She was like, I now know who are mainstays and who were experiments and are not going to be sticking around.
Overall, was there anyone you were impressed with from this camp?
I wouldn't say there's anyone that stood out. I think it's easy to be like, who's in? It's very clear people who are consistent and who have been around and who are continuing to get called in and continuing to be in that first starting lineup whenever there's multiple games in a camp, right?
Yeah.
I think what's harder to say is who is out.
Okay.
What I found interesting about this last camp in the selections made from the first game to the second game, 4 players were the same. Emily Sonnet, Tara Mecchione, Alyssa Thompson, Katarina Macario. I thought that in the second game, and I said this in the podcast last week, I thought in the second game, she would start Alana Cook, Emily Sams.
A lot of Emily Sams erasure all of a sudden.
Right. So my question is, why aren't you have them in camp, you're experimenting. Why are you not giving them the chance to pair up together to, Alana has much more experience than Emily Sams, and see how they fare against a Brazil team? One of the reasons that might not have happened is because the lineup that she put out for that second game, total in caps, had less than Emily Sonnet combined, right?
Which makes sense to keep Emily Sonnet, but why
for sure
Tara McKeown again? Nothing against her, but why
again? That's the thing. So part of me thinks, I think she had to play Sonnet for some experience and to make sure that they were settled and were able to handle themselves out there. Her playing Tara next to Sonnet again, and she's done this multiple times now, in my opinion, is showing I think that Emma is saying, all right, I know what Germer can give me. I know what Davidson can give me. I know what Sonnet can give me. I like what Tara McKeown is giving me, and I'm going to keep trying her and I'm going to keep using her to give her that experience, because I think those four, in my opinion, it's early, but I think those four are kind of again, Tierna's out for a while. She's out for a bit because of ACL. We don't know when we're getting Naomi back, but she knows what she can get from those players. Yeah. I think from those four, those are her top four right now. Emily Sams, Alana Cook, will they come into play because Tierna is now out? Probably. But the fact that they didn't get more playing time in this camp, I was surprised. Yeah. Which leads me to believe she's kind of doubling down on who she wants her center back pairings to be.
I agree. I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
And I was actually and I'm curious because obviously you, I was very impressed with Avery Patterson.
Same.
And I thought she was a really good addition.
Yeah, she has a different type of bite to her. Yeah. She's like a bulldog out there.
Yeah. And I was not too familiar with her.
No,
before.
me either at all. But I felt like she showed well. I felt like she held her own. She looked confident. She looked settled for it being, her first start with the national team, first call up even.
Yeah, I think she'll definitely get called back up again.
Yeah, for sure. I think so.
I was surprised. Lack of Ashley Hatch, especially in the second game. I thought she would get more time.
Yeah, there's this, where she's saying I'm trying players, I'm experimenting, that sort of thing. But I do think she's starting to show who she's leaning towards.
Yeah, and I thought there was a much quieter camp from Ali Sentnor and Yasmin Ryan, which I was disappointed in.
Yeah, but I don't think
I don't think it's gonna affect them getting called back up.
No, for sure.
I feel like prior to these two games, Yasmin has really good showings. Right. And this one I was kind of come on, girl.
Yeah, there was a couple. She had a couple moments late in the second half when she checked on. She had opportunities and unfortunately couldn't put them away. Yeah. So I was a bit bummed on that for her. But
bummed for her.
You gotta capitalize. That's the reality of playing for the national team. You gotta be, if you get the shot, if you get the opportunity, you gotta put it away.
Yeah.
So
who do you think is leading in the goalkeeper competition right now?
I think Mandy McGlynn.
You do?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Phallus. I don't know how to say her name correctly. Phallus Joyce.
But she's only played one game, right?
But I think out of the two, if you're just looking at those two games,
right?
Joyce, I think over McGlynn. McGlynn was a little nervous on Saturday. Had a couple bobbles mistakes that were a little ooh, and decisions playing out of the back that you were what's going on here?
Right.
Why are you playing 2 feet of Claire Hutton when she has a man on her back?
Yeah. No.
So
Fair
I think
enough.
Choice wise, just those two games alone. First choice is Joyce. Second choice, Mandy Hot.
I think goalkeeper position is definitely up for grabs, and I think that how people perform with their club teams is going to be a big indicator. And then also being able to.
It sounds like a lot of positions are up for grabs right now.
Yeah, but I do think that we're starting to see consistency when it comes to who she's playing.
There's a couple people I'm curious to see who's getting called up next.
Like who?
Or if they're going to continue.
Okay.
For me, Claire Hutton and Corbin together.
Not working. It's a no for you.
It's a big for me. Okay. Yeah, every single time they were together, I was like, someone put Lindsay Heaps back in. Do something. Put Sam Coffey back in.
Where's
that
my
was not
Heaps
working.
Girl? Yeah, no. I mean, again, you got to see it, and then
yeah, but we saw it twice, and
yeah, it's a no for you.
When's their next friendly?
I think June.
Do you think it's hard to get motivated in these friendlies in these non-competition years?
Okay, so yes and no. When you're playing a Brazil, absolutely not, because they're top talented, like a top talent team, right? You know that you're going to get a good game from them. There were times in my career where you would be playing a team and you'd be like, oh God, we got to go do this again. You know, like you knew it was going to be a 6-7, 8-0 game. And back in the day, sometimes we wouldn't be able to play. We wouldn't get to play these top teams unless it was an Olympics or a World Cup. They either didn't want to come play us or scheduling didn't work out. So in my opinion, for a game like these two games, absolutely not. Like you get up for these games, you get an opportunity to play Brazil, it's going to be a game. So you elevate, right? But I don't want to take anything away from like how amazing it is to put that shirt on and that jersey on every opportunity you get. But I'd be lying if there weren't times where I was like, hey, like, and especially as I think it's more so as a defender than a forward. Like forward, you're playing.
You're trying to pats. Your
Yeah,
stats.
like exactly.
Right.
You're like, we're about to play a ranked 30 plus team. Like I'm about to go out and score some bangers and get a hat trick and, you know, pump up my stats for the year. As a defender, you're like, well, I'm going to
another shutout.
hang out back here and maybe cross some balls in and see if I can maybe sniff a shot on goal. You know, like that's it. So yes and no. I mean, I don't think there's any problem getting up for a game against Brazil or any top team. But yeah, there were times when you're like, got to go do this again. You know?
Like,
Does that sound bad?
sounds like me just going to work.
You know what? And it is a job, but a fun one. So yeah, I'll do that. Sticking in soccer, NWSL was back this weekend. And with that came a return.
She's back.
She's back. Midge Purce. She subbed on for Gotham. She missed last year because of ACL. I think she tore ACL in the second game of the year. I remember
Yeah,
against Portland.
against
God,
Portland.
I remember watching. Oh my God, I was on the field for that. It was terrible. But she's back. She subbed in. Got to wear the captain's armband. Had a clean nutmeg.
Two. In
Dose.
the one play.
All right. Well, you love Midge
I
Purce.
love Midge Purce. I'm
So
a
just
really
tell
big
me
Midge
how
Purce
happy
fan.
you are right now.
On
a scale of 1 to 10.
It was like an 11. And Gotham needs her.
Okay.
Gotham needs her bad.
Do you think that she is going to be a big piece of Gotham this year?
Oh, yeah. I don't know when in the season she's going to like start starting or start that type of progression. But I think
Right.
even her just coming in the second half, like, can you imagine you're playing for 75 minutes and then you see Midge Purce come in, you're like, fuck.
Yeah,
You're
100%.
Like, damn. Because she's fast, she's physical, she's tricky. Like,
She can play
do
multiple
anything.
positions.
Right.
I don't think she's as much as a scorer, but she's a facilitator so much. And I think that is exactly what Gotham needs. They have good finishers, slow speed people, but she can facilitate all of that.
No, that's actually a really good point.
No, that first half, love you down, Ella Stevens, love you down, Astaire. Oh my God.
Yeah,
We're
speed.
slow.
Yeah. Right now, their starting lineup speed is not on
not
their
Speedy
side when it
Gonzalez.
comes to the.
And I think that's their problem. They're playing through balls, and I'm like, who do you think is getting there?
right.
Against, Good Courage and all these other fast
For sure.
backlines.
Adding Midge back in definitely adds an element to their game that they've been lacking for the first start of this, or
Yeah.
the beginning of this season, for sure.
Yeah,
So
She's an energizer.
for sure.
I love when she's on the field.
She comes in, the crowd was going crazy.
yeah, Gotham fans love Midge Purce.
Gotham fans. And I think I'm hoping that she gets another chance with the national team. I think this is the year to do it, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much, obviously, Emma has seen of her. But which is disappointing because before she got injured, she was getting a consistent call up.
She was.
I think she can make her way back.
I mean, they're probably keeping tabs on her, right?
100%. And I mean, it's all about how you come back and can you get into form post an injury like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, Tierna just got injured. Is Emma still communicating with her, or is she kind of like, take your time of this year and come back, and we'll come talk to you when you come back?
I'm sure there's some communication happening. Tierna is when she's healthy, she is a starter, if not a mainstay on that team, on the national team. I don't know how much communication. I think it just depends player to player how coaches and training staff or technical staff handle that. But I mean,
'Cause
right
with
now
someone
it's
like
just
Midge and Croy Bethune who are coming back, it's like,
Right.
are you obviously they're just right now trying to get healthy-ish or healthy
Yeah.
enough for club, but like eventually going to be like, hey, I'm back
for sure.
Like,
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I obviously never had Emma as a coach, so I don't
Mm-hmm.
know her method of communication or how she handles that. But I think both of those, Croy and Midge, will be getting looks as long as they show it in their club environment first.
But yeah, good weekend to be a Midge Purce and Gotham fan.
Yeah, no kidding. 3-1 win, right? 3-1?
Yeah, North Carolina, what the hell? What is going on?
Oh my God. Well, super excited to see Midge back on the pitch. She wasn't the only one who made her return this weekend, though. The Rain got Lynn Biondolo, not Williams, Biondolo, returning for them over the weekend as well. That was the first time she got to put on the Rain shirt, get out there. They unfortunately lost to Orlando, but what else is new? Unfortunately, no one can beat
That's
Orlando.
my team.
They
I
just
love
keep on-
Orlando.
Oh, are they?
I love
Is that your team?
Yo, we need
I
to get
mean,
you in Orlando.
I don't
you
like
would
their-
look good in the purple.
I don't love
would.
the uniform, but I love the players. I love the players.
That's
I guess
fair.
the uniform has to grow on me.
Because you don't like purple, or you just don't like the uniform?
I mean,
you thought it was
purple's
a little
okay. I just
God,
don't
I
really
feel
like
like-
purple on a jersey so much.
Oh my God,
Really?
I
Is
feel
that
like,
weird?
I feel like you would look
kinda
good in
weird. Yeah, a little
purple.
weird.
I feel
Well,
like purple might be on your color wheel.
Let me try.
Honestly,
Let me try.
looking
I'll have to
up?
try
I'm
it.
being serious.
But no, they're my favorites right now.
Orlando. Oh, that's convenient, considering they are the top team.
I've been talking about
Yeah.
them before, like at the start of the season. You don't remember?
Well, they won last season too, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that too. Okay, that's my team.
I love you.
I love me some winners. Okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You can take them, but you gotta take their purple jerseys too.
Okay, I
Yeah,
guess
you can have them.
We gotta get you in one. I'm telling you, with the blonde hair, fire.
Let's do it.
You're gonna look good. I love their
Orlando
jerseys.
Pride. You know where to find me, baby.
Okay. Can we agree? What player do you want?
Ooh.
You want Banda? You want Marta?
You want Ali
Well,
Wa?
I want Banda and I want Marta.
Oh, well, now we're getting greedy.
Oh yeah, wow.
Oh, I mean, what's
Wow.
better than one, too?
Just send her the whole lineup.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Okay.
Is your team Gotham?
Obviously. I mean, yes. Wow, I can't even believe I said I mean. Well, yeah, it's Gotham.
But
I was
you don't
thinking
like
could
their
do-
jerseys.
You could do Washington.
I didn't. No, don't
They
like.
grew on
It's
you?
kind of cute on, though.
Honestly,
It's not bad.
hated. Like, actually gave me the ick before at the beginning of the season and like the photo shoots and stuff.
Has it grown on you?
Doesn't look bad on the field. In motion,
Okay.
I can get behind a Gotham jersey. A Gotham shoulder pad jersey.
I won't.
Okay, wait, time out. Speaking of now we're just getting off tangent. Did anybody see the Spirit collab that went down? I gotta send it to you.
Wait,
It's
no, I
so
didn't see
good.
this.
Wait,
With who?
the
Spirit collab with who?
With Domo Wells, I think is the designer.
I love
I do
this.
actually like this
Obsessed.
sweater a lot.
Yes.
Obsessed. Need. So I
I could see you wear that.
like more teams should be doing stuff like this because you get more people wearing your gear. They are free billboards. They're walking advertisements for you. They're just spreading brand awareness and loyalty right, left, and center. We got to get more of this, NWSL.
Yeah.
Spirit, send me the polo.
Send me the cardigan.
send BJ. Oh my God, you look so cute in that.
Thank you. Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
I actually love the cardigan. Honestly, can I
We'll
get
even,
the
do
whole...
we'll even do a photo shoot.
Can I get the whole capsule? Oh my God. All right, anyway, moving on. Group chat segment. That was kind of like a group chat segment.
Are we going to talk about me being on the side of TikTok of Gino?
Yeah, let's talk
Thirst
about it. Group chat segment.
I'm
Okay.
so embarrassed.
This week, BJ sent us a thirst trap video of Gino. That
I don't want to be in this conversation. I'm
Grady's checking out, and I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
No, I just didn't watch it because I was like, I don't even need to know. I don't need to watch this.
No,
But you watched
color
it.
my surprise. I didn't pick it.
Did you
was
like
just,
it?
It came to me. It was picked for me.
It arrived at your doorstep, and
Someone
who are you
might-
to turn it away?
Right. It came to me. My algorithm sent it to me.
Gino had some fire fits back in the day. I will say.
No, but it wasn't even like.
Oh, it was
back in the
current.
day,
It was current.
and I
It
was like, "What is this?"
It was Daddy Gino.
It was Grandpa, you know. And I was I literally sent it, and I sent a text following. I sent it was like, "Guys, why am I on this side of TikTok?" Next text, I'm embarrassed. Disregard this.
That's why I didn't watch it because you were like, I can't even.
I was embarrassed.
Okay, well, yep, that's what's happening. That was what was happening in our group chat. Other thing that was blowing up in the group chat besides Daddy Gino for BJ.
Please cut those.
I'm done. We're obviously the fits of WNBA Draft. This is one of my favorite parts of draft night is
best
seeing the
part.
fits, seeing how people dress, what they choose, how they kind of bring in their own bits of personality or, you know, things that they want to pay tribute to. Loved. My favorite, I'm a suit girl.
Ooh. Who was your favorite?
So Paige and Georgia
Okay.
were my two favorites.
Okay.
Well, do you know the background behind Georgia's? She is the first WNBA player to be styled by an NBA player. Russell Westbrook has his own brand, Honor the Gift, which is so cool.
Obsessed.
And to see them both, they did an interview, obviously, but to see them both just interacting yesterday was so cool. Like,
I loved it.
I mean, I hope it sparks even more collaborations with other players and brands. But even them, I'd love to see them do some more work together.
Right.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I hope that Russ has some fits for Georgia, some tunnel fits for her going into the season. That'd be sick. I'd like to see more. Cool. And I'd like to see like some more casual situations from Honor the Gift, a little bit, you know, the elevated, mix it up, that sort of thing. But no, I really love that. And apparently Georgia was like, I just want a blazer and I want to wear a skirt and I don't want to wear heels. And I was like, girl after my own heart.
Too real.
Like, it was so good. I loved it. So yeah, and then he dressed it up with the flower embroidery and looked great. She looked awesome. I loved it. She looked good, but she looked comfortable. And I like that. So speaking of uncomfortable, you could tell that Paige, she did a fit change, right?
Yeah.
Obsessed with her first suit. Loved.
Yeah, really.
Almost
cute.
like a three-piece
Love the
piece
Coach
situation,
bag she has.
right? Am I saying that right? Three-piece
yeah.
situation. It was like kind of embellished with maybe some beading. Maybe got some beading there. So then she did a fit change so this was walking the orange carpet. And then, sorry, everyone who is watching or listening, we're pulling up the fits on our TV here. So go to the YouTube channel. But basically, Paige wore a three-piece suit on the orange carpet, then did a fit change. Is that what it's called? Fit change?
Yeah.
Outfit change?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Switched it up.
Went with blazer, still suit, but went blazer, no shirt underneath. Clearly, she was having some malfunctions because she was having to hold it. And
but she was also mic'd up.
Oh, maybe.
And when she did the video and we saw it,
but
you could see her fixing the mic.
love this look. Amazing. But she was having to hold her blazer down a lot. And I was like, oh, I just want her to be comfortable in this moment because it's such a big moment. And I don't want her worrying about this, you know? A little nip slip potentially.
And I love that she matched AZ.
So
kind of had a little matchy vibe.
Okay.
They both look so good
my God.
in the black.
They looked gorgeous.
Oh,
both of them.
And AZ told me, because she straightened her hair, she's like, Greydy, this is the first time I straightened my hair in like 4 years. I was like, what? Wow. You know, because she always has her curls, which are beautiful.
Right. Yeah.
Beautiful, but she looked amazing too.
Incredible.
Really good.
I mean, I love this fit. I was like, can someone get the girl some fashion tape?
Yeah.
And so she doesn't have to hold on. Because I want, like, in those moments, you want to look amazing, but you want to feel your best, but you don't want to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And
I do think it was the mic. Because it was like they did a video of her being mic'd up and she kept touching like here. And I think that was the mic.
Okay.
So I think, yes, it was probably she was a little scared of the tape.
Right.
But I think it was also just like the mic moving around.
Well, either way, she looked amazing. I hope that she got to enjoy the night and wasn't too worried about wardrobe malfunction. But yeah, those were my two top fits. And then my other one was Kiki Irefin.
Oh my God.
So, and
she looked like a goddess.
Oh my God. I was like, you look really like pretty. You are Oscar ready.
Absolutely.
Like she looked incredible. I could never wear that, but she was rocking it. And apparently it was designed by a Nigerian designer.
We will be seeing this photo for a while.
Like I'm like, okay, you guys.
I met her moment.
Yeah. I didn't want to bring this up, but if anyone goes and Googles what I wore to my draft day.
Google it.
You guys.
Pull it up. I'm trying to see what you wore.
They look like they are Grammys, Oscar ready. I was in a pencil skirt and a weird ass blouse. And I looked so uncomfortable and so awkward. And these girls look incredible.
Right. Wait,
so,
let's paint the scene though. What year was that?
The year was 2010.
2010.
They told us to wear business, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, what the F is business? I don't even know, you know? And back then I wasn't like I wasn't going to wear a suit. Didn't even think about that. So I was like, I'm going to wear a mid-calf pencil skirt, I'm pretty sure. Gray. It was atrocious.
I just love that players, especially now, this newer generation is embracing their own style and is comfortable enough to dress how they want to dress and still look fly.
Okay, I'm in the middle. Also, how short am I? Was I not wearing? I surely wasn't wearing heels. Maybe I was. Can you zoom in on that? Oh my God. We pulled this up. Oh my God, you guys. Look at
baby Kelley.
Look at right the
You look
pencil
so
skirt.
young.
Could the pencil skirt not have just been a little higher?
But why is everyone else in jeans?
Well, I don't. So it was me, Cheney, Tobin, Casey.
Is that Alyssa on there?
Alyssa, Whitney. I don't know if Brittany knew or like, I don't know. Basically, a couple of us were invited to the draft. We were told to wear business. Looked like I was walking to a freaking corporate board meeting.
You going to work?
Yeah, you're
Lord have mercy. I mean, oh my God. Well, thank God the fashion of the draft has evolved.
Right?
Thank God. But now, you know what?
Next live show, whip that out.
Can you imagine? I show up. I'm like, all right, it's business tonight. Anyway, that was me. If anybody wants to go find that. If you're not watching on YouTube, you're listening at home, go Google, what'd you Google? Kelley O'Hara draft. 2010 draft. Woof.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
You know whose outfit I really loved? Cheyenne Sellers. She had this blue.
Yeah, the blue suit.
Oh my gosh. And then
The chains.
the chain
looked
cool.
good.
No,
I
very
know.
cool.
What a
Chef's
week she's
kiss.
had. Let's just talk about that for a second. Proposed.
Oh my
is
gosh.
engaged and got drafted. How fun for her.
What a week.
No big
Average,
deal.
average day in the
Right?
office.
I know. Her fiance was there. It was really sweet.
So sweet.
I loved it.
I also really like Sonia Citron
Did like
Wait,
that
yeah.
one.
with the socks. I just wonder, how do you keep your foot in the shoe with the sock on? Because I feel like my foot would
keeps you. It like actually keeps you from getting
But-
blisters.
yeah.
It's like a thing.
no, without the foot slipping out.
No, it like grips you in. Like it
I
really
don't know.
squeezes
Socks
you.
don't grip me into no heels. I don't know,
Really?
but kudos because this
BJ's
looks
got to order you
beautiful.
some socks.
Don't
With
worry,
the
I'm on
slick
it.
Okay,
back.
now we're looking at Sonia Citron. Sonia Citron. She looked fire.
Oh my
She
gosh.
So what is this? We're giving. This is. I can't. Is it my
This is
eyes
getting
are bad?
schoolgirl.
This is like blazer
Chic.
skirt situation again. No shirt underneath. Definitely had to wear the magic tape.
Some slit action.
I do. Yeah, I love the slit. And the white socks with the little kitten heel. What would you call
and that's
those?
not like that is a kitten heel.
Kitten heel pumps.
No.
They were
just
a little
kitten
bit
heel.
more than
Can you
kitten
call kitten
heels.
heel pumps?
Because pumps are
No.
taller.
Right. Duh.
This was like a mid heel.
Oh,
it was
was it?
kind of tall. Yeah, it
Really?
wasn't a kitten heel.
Okay, wait, time out. Can we just compare Georgia Amore in her lineup with the other draft invitees, the picture, and then my picture? We kind of
Oh
are
my
similar in
gosh.
that I like literally am so short in my draft picture versus hers. Can we pull that up? It was hilarious. They all the draft invitees were on stage and they put her between two bigs and she's in loafers. She told
She was like, I'm
Russ
not
she
putting
wasn't
the
she didn't want to wear
heels, no.
heels. And she is tiny.
Oh, I bet. I mean, she's not super tall. She's maybe like
No, not at all.
5, 6,
that's
5,
the thing
7.
that people actually like. I think harp on a lot for her is her size, but she was like, I don't care. She's like, I got quads for days, and I'm gonna have a jumper that is gonna beat everybody.
Yeah, she's like, I don't care. I'm drafted. You're not.
I also
we don't
really
pull
loved
out the-
Anissa Morrow. She had this black ensemble. She just looked great, as did Isaiah James in her white and then her red hair just popping.
Yeah, she
It-
looked good.
Everyone looked good. Everyone had their
good.
own style, brought their own.
I love
their
it.
own swag. It was just
And some of the
I
current
loved
people
it.
in the league looked really good too, like Nico Mule with the
Oh,
keys and like
yeah.
it was,
Ooh,
like,
I didn't
that
see
sash.
this.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it?
She had basically like a rope that went down and it had locks and keys. and
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it was
like,
really cool.
It was really
Unlock.
cool. She was like,
Get it, girl.
No,
oh,
it was cool.
she was funny.
that's last.
She was like, you
year.
can put your car key on here.
That's
you know?
hilarious. Honestly.
I
Smart.
also went on the carpet too.
Oh,
We saw you.
Dude, wait, time out. Let's talk about Grady's
Yeah,
fit.
best
You
dress.
look
1, 2, 3. Greydy Diaz.
okay, that popped up on my feed, and I was like,
You look so pretty.
gorgeous,
Oh, thank
ma'am,
you.
gorgeous.
Who are you wearing?
Tell us
Listen.
everything.
Every year I pop out in something different. So you have to
Okay.
see my other years and what I wore.
I don't
think
know if
this
you
was
can-
my 4th.
This seems like
so
is this
Yeah,
this
who are
was
you
your
wearing
top
here?
fit?
but I've done custom fits before.
Okay.
One year I did a custom jean fit, which I literally bought a bunch of jeans at the Levi's store and I had my tailor make a dress and make a long jacket. It was inspired by a designer.
Very
But
cool.
yeah, I've
Love.
done some really
Okay,
this
well,
was
who was
kind of this was
this?
light work for me. This was like a little chill night.
Yo,
Really?
Well,
this looks good though.
You did everything right in this
Thank ya.
fit. Who
Thank
was
you.
it? What were you wearing?
I don't remember the I don't
Whatever.
know.
You look gorgeous. You look like a vision in white cream. What would we say?
And that's the
is?
thing. It's an orange carpet, so you need to make sure you're not wearing orange.
You nailed it.
Yeah,
You have to
no.
like, and I know from
Honestly.
experience that what colors work on the carpet.
Listen, fourth
yeah.
time. I don't know what your other fits look like, but you
this one
you
we
slayed.
love.
Like this popped up, and obviously all the other draftees were like
For sure,
well,
they
not
were great.
drafty, but I saw all their fits, and I was like, honestly, Greydy is like top 3,
Oh.
top 1.
Top one.
You look fire.
Thank
You look really good.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Goes to 2 after parties, shows up the next morning, is on this couch looking perky as a daisy over
Beat me
here. Yeah.
Off of
Couldn't
5
be
hours
me.
of sleep.
Couldn't be me.
Beat me here.
Yeah,
my
it's like beat BJ here. All right. That's a roundup for our group chat segment. We got one more.
Oh.
We got one more because obviously sports are fun.
Duh.
Have to shout this out. It was announced this past week that for the first time in history, there will be more women than men in the LA 2028 Olympics. This highlights the progress we've made in growing women's sports and just how much fun it is to watch them, especially in the Olympics. I mean, come on. I feel like the girls are the most fun part of the Olympics.
Oh, for sure.
The ladies, the women.
For sure.
Absolutely. Shout out Olympics. Shout out IOC. Shout out whoever. Shout out women everywhere.
I thought
Turn
this was
up.
a really cool fact.
Why are you laughing at me?
Shout out women. Shout
So
out.
a century ago, 135 women and 2,954 men took part at the 1924 Paris Olympics.
Boo on that ratio.
Whoa,
That
crazy
was
ratio.
only
100 years ago.
100 years ago,
Only.
which is a long time, but not really.
A lot has
Because there are
happened in
people
100 years.
that are alive right now that are over 100.
That's true.
So
That's fair.
Now they can see
look
it.
how far we've come.
It's true.
We're a movement, baby.
We are a movement, baby. Watch out.
Not just the moment.
Yeah.
Is it just because of the soccer teams?
No, there's actually multiple.
3x3.
So, yeah, there's
Okay.
there's a handful of other things that got added. Water polo added two teams to their women's side. Soccer added 4. There were a couple other events
3x3 basketball added 4 more teams.
Yep. So handful of things that tip the scales in favor of the ladies.
Cool.
Cool. Can't wait
Love
for
it.
LA 2028.
Hey, I'm on the edge of my seat.
BJ is ready. All right. Well, that's a wrap. Great week we've had. Another fun week to look forward to. We got WNBA training camps are going to be in full swing. Literally, like, when do they start?
I think it's first week of May.
Really? I feel like they start sooner.
They
than
usually
that.
start
That's-
end of
that's
April.
like 2 weeks.
It is.
Like,
No,
less
I
than.
know, but I feel like I remember players going from draft like straight into training camp last year.
I feel like you're right.
But maybe. So anyway, again, draft has happened. We know who's going where. So now we can get excited for the season. You can get excited for Chicago. We can get excited for Liberty. Is Liberty your team? Like through and through?
I don't have an official team, but I just so happen to, go to many games.
Fair enough. Is a season ticket holder for Liberty, but can't pledge allegiance.
That is right.
We'll see who's like going to like projected to win. She's like, my team.
Yeah. Mid-season.
I do think the
Who's
Liberty
top
are
of
going
the
to run it
table?
back, though.
Okay.
Early prediction.
You heard it here
It's
first.
possible.
You heard it here first. All right. Yeah. So
I'm trying to think on
WNBA.
this. I gotta think.
You what?
I'm trying to think who I think is gonna run it.
Well, hopefully you say your team.
I'm a realist.
Okay, fair enough.
Just kidding. Chicago.
Okay, well, NWSL season is back in full swing after our little break with international friendlies. We got a couple key matchups to keep your eye on this weekend. Angel City versus Gotham. That'll be a good one on Friday. The Spirit versus Pride on Saturday. Also, NCAA gymnastics final this weekend. Very
Ooh,
pumped to watch
very
that.
nice.
That'll be a good one. It'll include one last chance to see favorites like Jordan Childs out there competing this season.
Very cool.
Yeah, which is awesome. And like we keep saying, there's no better time to be a women's sports fan. So thank you for tuning in, being here with us for another week of Sports Are Fun. Subscribe, follow, like, comment. Tell us what you want to hear, what you don't want to hear. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.